Happy Monday, degenerates, and welcome back to the Die Hard MMA podcast. It feels like it's been forever. Holy crap. One of the things that I've always promised you guys is I do my very best to bring you consistent content. You know what time I'm going live, you know when, you know where. It's the same time, it's the same day every single week. And every single year, we've been doing this damn show for shoot, I wasn't supposed to cuss. You're not supposed to cuss in like the first 5 minutes of the show, and I'm live, so I can't even edit it out. Whatever. Uh, yeah. So every time I've done this show during the winter break, I do my best to bring you guys content. And I'm really frustrated because like I've been saying all year, I've teased you guys multiple times. I have a couple of different shows that I want to do. Some more fun topics, MMA related, right? Gambling related, but like fun, entertaining, like live streams. And I haven't been able to do any of them. And on top of that, I had to cancel last second last week on you guys. So first off, I want to beg your forgiveness. Okay. I know you guys that are here with me rocking right now. You guys are the good ones. You guys are the true ones. You're my supporters, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. Absolutely, without a doubt. So I know you guys aren't holding it too much against me, but I hold myself to a pretty high standard. And so I'm more frustrated with myself than anything. But I want to apologize for not bringing you guys the promised ongoing type of entertainment that I usually try to do, because I definitely intended to do more shows for you guys and to be live for you guys and to do more. And it really broke my heart last week to have to cancel on you guys last second the way that I did. If I ever cancel anything, I always try to do it with lots of heads up. I always try to do it with plenty of notice so that nobody is ever caught off guard or anything like that. But this wasn't the way it worked out last week. So unfortunately, you guys, I had a rough week last week. This show, okay, you know what? Let's pause. Let's put a pin in that. Welcome. First off, we've already got several of you guys in here live. What's going on, Muhammad? I am in fact here. Thank you for hoping I can make it. TH, what is up? Barry Colby, Saul, what is up? And Colby coming out firing for a break week question here. Yes. Yes, I am so excited about the new season of Traders. And Colby, I love that they dropped 3 episodes to begin with, because I'm a binger, right? Like I can't handle one episode week to week. You got to ramp me up. So this 3-2-1 thing that they're doing, whoever is making high level trash TV decisions, they finally got one right. They usually don't. They finally got one right. Coming out with 3 episodes right off the rip is just, I love it. I love it. We already knocked those 3 out. I am fully engaged. I love this season. Anyway, I want to start the show off, you guys, the way we used to, and frankly, tonight, the way we need to, and that is with a shot. I know my guy Mushroom is going to make fun of me for drinking Fireball. I haven't busted the Fireball out in a long, long time. In fact, I am doing my best to drink less of it. I am trying to cut drinking, and I am trying to cut caffeine. So trying to get a little bit healthier in 2026. But tonight, we make the exception. And this may not be the only one that we do. So let's start with that. Cheers. It's been a while since I've done Fireball. I'm going to need to chase. Oh, I quit drinking this shit for a reason. It's funny. It was the only thing I could stand to drink for a long time. It was the only thing I could stand to drink. And there's a, some of you guys have heard, there's a long story behind that, as far as me not being able to drink and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell that again one of these days. But Fireball was the only thing I could manage to drink for some reason. Now it's the only thing I've drank, and I made it my whole thing, Fireball and popcorn. And we made it a joke, and I've drank too much of it. The long and short of it is that I have drank too much Fireball now, because of the podcast, because of the show, because of hanging out with you guys, and because of doing shots on stream to celebrate good bets and stuff like that. I have absolutely destroyed my love for Fireball. So it kills me now when I take a break and then I come back to it. And you know what, guys? It's that kind of a day. We're going to go ahead and double up here. I'm going to give you a second shot right off the rip, okay? We're just gonna do it. And I know the people are gonna pour in here as far as the live viewers. So I don't know. If you guys, whoop, I'm dripping. If you guys want to give me some kind of a deal with likes and views or whatever, go for it. Oh, good God. See this, kids, you're not supposed to drink like this. Oh God. If it tastes bad, don't drink it. Like if you don't want to drink it, if you don't enjoy the sensation of it going down, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Tonight I'm drinking it anyway. Yeah, Barry saying that Fireball is healthy for the soul. Yes, yes, the Vikings hoodie. We got unceremoniously booted this year. It was a tough. You know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? We played the Bears. What week was that? I can't remember. We played the Bears. We had them dead to rights. And then at the very end of the game, it was a 1 point game, I think. We gave up a huge kick return. Just literally seconds on the clock. They need a miracle. And we couldn't make a tackle. They ran right back into field goal range and kicked the game-winning field goal. If we had won that game, we'd be in the playoffs. Weird year. Really weird year of football. I could do a whole show on how weird this year has been for football. Narrative Nation, what's going on, man? First show of 2026. I was supposed to do one a whole heck of a lot sooner than this, but yes, this is the first show of the year. Happy New Year to you as well. All right. Pen Degen, what is up? TH, cheers to you, my friend. Glad you're having some with me. Then let's do this dang thing. All right, guys. So let's go back to the beginning here, okay? Last week was supposed to be the rip off the Band-Aid tour. Last week was supposed to be the show where I present to you the final number, the final results. I've always given out my betting record multiple times throughout the year, just for transparency's sake, just so people didn't, say I was hiding things, just so people, if I went on a good run or a bad run, like you could kind of track it throughout the year and see where I was and how I was doing. The last 2 years have been an arrow straight down. It's like that meme where the guy's standing there with the red arrow going, like it's been bad. It's been really bad the last 2 years, my betting when it comes to MMA. And so last week was supposed to be the show where I bring the bottle of Fireball and I jump on stream and we have a good time. And, I rip a couple of shots. I make fun of myself and I go over the record for you. But at the very, very last second, you know, personal stuff. My daughter has been struggling with some stuff. She's 10, so she's really emotional. She's going through some things, and her teacher like walked out on the class. Not walked out, but like quit. Like just quit unexpectedly. So somebody who she'd made like a real relationship with and stuff like that throughout the first half of the year, she gets real bad anxiety when it comes to going to school. And so that all happened, and they came home, and she was like panic screaming. So family first. I'm sorry. Like gambling is fun. The podcast is I love you guys. The podcast has become a wonderful source of side income. It's been a great way to network. We've built a community, and I love you guys, and I'm not leaving you. But when I'm sitting here, if I hear my daughter screaming and sobbing out the door, like I just can't. You know what I mean? It was one of those moments where I was like, oh God, I've got to go be a dad. Like I had to bootstrap up and go be a dad for a minute. And so that's why I canceled the podcast Super Notice last week. But what happened after that is my grandmother died. So I got word midway through the week that my grandmother had passed. And this is the grandmother on my mom's side who was massively important to me growing up, a huge part of my life, a huge part of my development. I used to uh I used to go out at her house. They had a computer and internet before anybody else did. They had Cartoon Network. So I would beg my parents to let me spend the night out at my grummy and granddad's house is what we called them. They owned a horse park, a horse farm. We called them wee wee minis. They're like literal miniature horses, and they would go out and do like horse shows and travel the country and show these horses and stuff like that. That's what they used to do. And I would go out to their house and I would eat whatever the hell I wanted, and they always had soda, which I couldn't have at home. and I would stay up late watching Dragon Ball Z, and I would play Warcraft 2 on their computer and stay up until 2 a.m. You know, I had a lot of really great memories. She was the one, you know what? The gambling comes from her. The gambling comes from her. Um, my grandmother is a natural God-given gambler, and it's funny because, with me doing all this podcast and stuff like that, she's always been a fan, she's always been a supporter. Some people in my family, not so much, but she has always loved every single second of me, playing poker seriously years ago before the podcast when I was doing that, and then this. She always wanted to hear updates on it. She never understood any of it, but she always wanted to hear about it, because she loved to gamble. Obviously, she was a sucker, right? She was a penny slots penny slots lady. She would go out to the Indian casino and play penny slots for hours and hours. But she always wanted to talk to me. She always wanted to hear about you guys. She always wanted to know how I was doing and if I had made it to the casino to play some poker. Um, she was the best. She really was. She would always make me French toast. Every single time I slept over at their house, she would wake up super early in the morning and she would make me French toast and make me sit down. I was not allowed to help. She would bring it to me. She microwaved the syrup, you guys. Like, she made sure I had absolutely everything I needed. She was the best, and that was tough. So this has been a rough week for your boy. Um, not gonna lie. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna show you guys something. I don't know if I've ever done this on the stream before. This is my grandfather's ring. Um, my grandmother that just passed away. My grandfather died right before my daughter was born. So just over 10 years ago, my grandfather died. He actually never got to meet my daughter. We visited him in the hospital while my wife was pregnant, um, to say goodbye. And he was he was the biggest, baddest, rough and tumblest Texan you've ever met in your life. This man was a car salesman who, when he got robbed, laughed in the face of the guy with a handgun and pulled out a shotgun and made him leave. I mean, like, if you think back, like, Wild West, any crazy story you can think of, this is the guy. And they gave me his ring. Now, it looks kind of like the Superman logo. I wish my camera would focus. It's having a hard time because it wants my face and not the ring. But it looks like the Superman logo. Oh, there we go. There we go. You guys got a better look at it now. And those are real stones in there. This man sold cars for a living and was very, very well off early in his life. And this thing is serious. And it's what I've got to remember him by. When I graduated high school, they gave me this ring. I had to size it down like 3 sizes. I have big hands, you guys. I know it's hard to see on camera. Like, you never know how big or how short or how tall anybody is. I'm like 6 foot. All right. So I've got big hands. And I had to size this thing down like 2, 3 sizes. My grandfather had massive hands. That man was like 6'5". It was insane. He was a giant. When I say big, rough and tumble Texan, I mean every word of it. So I keep this ring to keep him close, and I wear it every single time I go play poker. If I'm playing cards, this ring is on my finger. And with my grandmother passing, I don't have anything of hers but memories. We're having some of her earrings made into necklaces for my daughter. So she's gonna have a necklace to remember her great grandmother by. And I know I'm being a little bit down in the dumps right now. I apologize. This news is still pretty new. She she I count myself lucky because I got 2 Christmases with my grandmother that I didn't expect to get. She got, an infection in her leg, and they actually had to amputate it a couple of years ago. And at her age, I never expected her to make it through it. Um, you just don't bounce back when you're older. And you guys can learn a lot about me being the way that I am from the stories about my grandmother because she doesn't follow directions. She got her leg amputated and didn't do a damn thing the doctor told her to. So I've been mentally preparing for her to get a bad phone call that my grandmother didn't make it for about 2 straight years now. And she just kept doing her thing, you know? That's the kinda lady she was. She always marched to the beat of her own drum, and, it didn't matter what the doctors said, she was gonna do it her way. Um, and I gotta share this one with you guys. One second. You know what? It's gonna be that kind of a show apparently. I will get to the numbers here in a minute, I promise. I'm not gonna sad sack you the entire time, I swear, but I am gonna do another shot. So, you got apparently this is a drunk stream this evening. Whoop, I dripped a little bit there. I'm gonna have to clean that up. This shit is sticky. Cheers to everybody. Yeah. On the third shot, it's a little easier. It's not as bad going down. But I don't want my mouse to be sticky, so I'm gonna clean this up real quick. Oh, my absolute favorite story from my grandfather. Now, when I say old school, I mean old school. This man was military back in the day, and he took my grandfather's first date with my grandmother. He took her to this, well, it appeared to be a restaurant, right? Apparently, apparently it was a restaurant buffet by day and a strip club by night, right? And this is my grandfather's in his younger, 20s. This was back in the days where, military members, they would get transferred, especially if you were on a boat or something, you'd hit the land, you go out to see the ladies, you hit the strip club, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what they did. Hell, maybe that's what they still do. I don't have any. I don't know. I'm not super close with too many people in the military these days, but back then it was just like, whatever. Like, that's what they did, right? He was all tatted up and shit like that. But he meets my grandmother. He takes her out to a restaurant for lunch. Apparently, he knew some of the women that were serving because they served during the day and they stripped during the night. And so he orders some beers for the two of them. And one of the women who was serving was a black lady. And he says, and this has been passed down through the family, so obviously I wasn't there. I can't verify this. But he like holds his beer up and orders some chocolate titty milk. On a first date with my grandmother. And this lady comes over and jams his face right between her tits. And my grandmother married that man. Can you imagine taking a woman on a first date and hitting up the nearest stripper that you're familiar with and asking for some chocolate titty milk? And apparently she thought it was funny enough to hang around. Oh my lord. That's so if you guys ever wondered what is wrong with me, if you ever wanted some kind of a clue about why I am the way that I am, that was my grandmother and grandfather's first date. Oh my gosh. So, okay, all right. I'm sorry. We're 20 minutes in and I'm still talking about chocolate titty milk. That is yeah, so that's where my week went this week, you guys. Holy crap, are we really 20 minutes in already? I'm sorry. I waxed poetic way too long on that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys in the chat so much. I see you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Um it really has been it's been tough. I don't think it's all the way hit me though. Um I mean, telling that story and not breaking down and crying on stream for you guys. I mean, obviously it was funny, so that helps. I think it's because I'm not home. You know, when I go home where I grew up, seeing the house, seeing my family, my aunts and uncles, I think it's gonna hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm bracing myself. I know that's coming. Um, I've walled myself off well enough. There's enough space. I'm okay. But yeah, when I get home, I think that's gonna be a problem. But for now, you know, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing okay. Um, but yeah, it's been tough. It's been a rough break, and just kind of trying to keep things trucking the right direction here. Um, Jared saying, "I wear my papa's wedding ring and necklace. It's way too big for me, but I carry it around my neck." That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Um, I love that kind of stuff, man. And that's one of the reasons why I love this ring so much is it's one of one. It's custom. Like, my grandpa was he he's from Texas and from Arizona, right? So like we're talking like old school gangster style. He had that ring made for himself, you know. Um, this thing, I have no idea what it's worth. I have no clue because obviously, it never even crossed my mind to sell it, right? Like I'm wearing that thing for the rest of my life. But I wear it to special occasions. I wear it when I play poker. There is no other ring in existence like it, so it's pretty special to me. And you guys are, yeah, yeah. I knew my guy Moise would like that one. All right, let me get another shot down the hatch here, you guys, and then let's get into this thing, right? Like we got a show to do. I'll have to add timestamps for everybody else who listens to this thing, not live. So if you guys just want to make fun of me for my betting gear, you don't have to deal with the sappy bullshit before. But the rest of you who have been here this whole time and hanging out and listening, and especially those of you guys offering the condolences, I just appreciate you guys. I really do. I wasn't counting. Is that 4? Is that 5? Sure. All right. John, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here. They took my button away. I'm a little pissed off, you guys. I was gonna turn on the chat feature so that your comments would be popping up here on the page for everybody to see, but it looks like they did away with that for some reason. I don't know why they did away with that. I liked it. I liked it when you guys could talk to me and I could have it scrolling up here on the side of the little camera here. But, sorry, it is what it is. All right. So, as you guys are, may well not know. Some of you know because you've been with me for God knows how long, and some of you may not know this. But the way that I track everything for betting is I have a spreadsheet. And I know that sounds old and I know that sounds lame, but I get yelled at about once every 2 months. About once every 2 months, somebody on Twitter gets on me about, why don't you track your picks? Third party tracking, bro. Like it's a thing about once every 2 months. And I made a Bet MMA Tips. I didn't know what Bet MMA Tips was. I made an account. And the first time I tried, I was well already into my podcasting. So I didn't feel like it accurately described my record, and I missed a couple of weeks, just like family vacations and stuff like that. I wasn't in the habit of tracking well, etc. So my first attempt at third-party tracking, it just didn't go well. Like it wasn't truly representative of my record, whether positive or negative. It just wasn't accurate. And I got enough pressure from people that I was like, okay, you know what? I'll try again. I was like, fine, I'll try again. So I was like, this time for realsies, I'm doing this. As you guys know, I am not a professional gambler. I am a full-time father, and the podcast is a side hustle. So I have a full-time job on top of that, and several actually. But so I ended up missing events. The way I look at it is I can give you a true and clear and accurate representation of what I have bet throughout the year, including my live action, because you cannot track live bets on a third party source. So this record is everything I have clicked for the entire year: sprinkles, parlays, anchors, live bets, all of it. This is the most accurate representation of what I have bet. And because I am not selling my action, because I am not putting these out to subscribers so people can tail me, I felt this was the best way for me to do it. Now, people may or may not tail my live action. People may or may not tail the picks that I put out, etc. You know, those are that's up to you guys. That's where for me, I'm not selling anything, right? I'm putting on an entertaining podcast. I'm not selling you anything. So for me, I think this works the best because I can miss 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row and then plug them into the spreadsheet and know exactly where we're at. So anybody looking for an explanation as to why I do it the way I do it, that right there is why. Yeah, Jared saying, I think that's old school, man. I still use you think that's old school. I think I still use a pen and paper. Oh dear Lord. I've never owned a computer, never made a spreadsheet. That's crazy, Jared. This is 2026, my man. Holy cow. That is wild. That is wild. Yeah, you'll get some people every once in a while who will kind of mock you for this kind of thing. And frankly, you guys, I try to be as transparent as possible. This is a true representation of what I've done, positive or negative. And as I've said in the past, I've never run from the results. If I have a down year, I'll tell you I had a down year. If I have a bad bet, I'll tell you I had a bad bet. And me doing this stream right now should be more than enough proof for you of that, because this is back-to-back bad years in a row, and that's never happened before. But this is the glorious spreadsheet. You know, I started the year off hot, right? We had Fatima Klein inside the distance on that bounce back, knowing after her short notice up a weight class debut, she was just going to beast her way to a massive win. I thought we were off and running. At that point. And then we got the C-Rod bet. Like, it was looking good to start the year. Can you guys see that? Actually, maybe I should zoom this in here a little bit for you. Maybe you can see that. But so I have literally every single bet that I have made through the entire year. As you can see, I've got them even down to like the quarter unit sprinkles and stuff like that for you here. The moment you've all been waiting for. Are you ready for this? We are 105 winning bets, 305 losing bets, with 7 pushes for a total of minus 96.77 units. That is a minus 23.21% ROI. On that note, let me do another shot. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call bootay. Awful. Terrible. Let me go ahead and put this up here. There you go. Duck, what? Duck saying he expected worse. Oh, my Lord. I blew an entire bankroll, you guys. I blew an entire bankroll in 2025. I mean, Duck saying he expected worse. I don't know how much worse can it get, right? I've got the numbers here. Let me get it out. I've got it on my phone. I've got it saved over here for you guys. I know the records exactly since we started this thing. So my whole claim to fame was that win or lose, I was still net positive, right? Last year, I slipped into the net negative. That was the first time since we started the show that I was ever like since inception negative. I was a positive MMA gambler for 5 years, you guys, even with down years. It wasn't until last year and this year that now, obviously, now I'm completely net negative. Year one, 2019, plus 19.88 units. Started off hot, right? Your boy knew what he was doing right out the gates. 2020 got a little big for my britches, minus 10.86 units in the negative. But see, still positive, right? Because I had made 19 units the year before. 2021 was plus 34.93. So had a big year in 2021. 2022 minus 70 units. That was my big losing swing. And I was like, what the fuck did I just do? 2023, it swung back hard the other way. I went up 88 units in 2023. I was flying high. I was on the moon. I was like, here we go. We're on a rocket ship from here. I know exactly what I'm doing from now on. And 2024 minus 82 units. And I backed that up with minus 96 units. So I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm pretty ashamed. I hold myself to a much higher standard than that. Gambling is hard. Okay, betting is extremely hard. There's a reason 1% of human beings in the world actually make money gambling long term. It's not an easy thing to do. And a couple weeks ago, somebody asked me what I learned in 2025. And my answer was about as honest for you as it possibly could be. Um, I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything. You know, we always say we either win or we learn. And the truth is, last year, I learned nothing outside the fact that I'm human and I'm prone to mistakes and I'm prone to making the same mistakes twice. Because what happened this past year is I fell into a lot of the mistakes in the routine that I have fallen into before. I got emotional, I got upset, I chased, I had FOMO. You know, I see people like James, Lucrative MMA, who comes on the show sometimes, Narco Cop. I see guys like them who are hitting long shots and parlays and massive payouts. And I wanted some of that. And I got away from what I do and I did some of the things that I don't normally do. Um, and then I just made some mistakes, analytically speaking, as far as overestimating and underestimating certain fighters. My bet sizing was all over the place. There were some spots where, like, I just stone cold could stare you in the face and knew the outcome, but it would be like a 1 unit play. And then I would make a 1 unit play on something else that was very, very similar. And so I'd end up negative because I'd pay juice on something else. I didn't go 2, 3 units on the thing I was certain about, but I would have a matching bet that would send me losing on the other side. So just lots of mistakes, and Dylan with a very, very good one here. Please stick with your gut and don't overthink shit. And that right there, my friend, has been a struggle. That's been something I've done as well, because when my gut says something, and then I sit down and I try to put the analytical cap on, I think myself into a hole. If you give me long enough, I will make arguments on both sides of a fight because I can come up with reasons, right? Um, definitely something, definitely something that I've struggled with this year that I will overthink, and that led me to mistakes. You know, think long, think wrong. That's something that I've always kind of kept in my back pocket. Definitely, definitely something that is real, that's true. Jared saying, I feel like it's getting harder and harder since the big push for legality. It feels like the books have gotten super sharp. I completely agree. It was soft, man. I'm an underdog better, especially when it comes to MMA, and it was soft when I first got started. Lines were just wrong. Um, and since then, it's gotten way sharper, and there's been a lot of changes. One of the big things that I think, I've kinda leaned into recently, and I think has kinda made some sense, is, the UFC does seem more and more stacked deck, right? You know, I don't wanna say fixed fights. We all know the Isaac Dolgarian situation. That was really literally a fixed fight. But I don't think that happens so much as they set fights up, right? The guys that are supposed to win do win. The guys that are supposed to win get the matchups against somebody who they should be able to beat with a certain weakness, etc., things of that nature. And we just got to take advantage of that. We just got to take advantage of that. But I look back and like here, like I'm like looking through this thing. And look at this. This one hurt my soul. Do you guys remember my 3 unit banger on Puja Tomar? Well, at plus 155 for 3 units, I knew without a shadow of a doubt she was winning that fight. Her opponent ended up winning comeback of the year. So that's the kind of thing that you're dealing with as well, because even if you're right, it's still gambling. There's still variance, right? Shauna Bannon hitting an armbar out of nowhere after being rocked to hell. Not part of the game plan. One of the most unlucky things I've ever had happen to me in my entire life. But that's what happens. That's gambling. So you can do your best. You can put yourself in the right position, and if you put yourself in the right position, more times than not, you'll end up making profit over time. But that I ended up on the wrong side of some bad variance a couple of times. The biggest thing that was the issue for me when it comes to variance is the anchors that I chose to go with. And I've retired the anchor for now, you guys. That was a big part of my betting strategy early in 2025, right? We had a couple of different anchors this year, and actually it was working out really well. The last couple of years, the anchor, it's been a fun gimmick. It's really fun for social media. It confuses people. It provides engagement. It's good. It's good. But the last couple of anchors, I've gotten some really bad variants on. Kevin Holland versus D-Rod. I've talked about it a couple of times. He should have finished him early. If he took that fight seriously, he wins. He should have finished him in round 3. Like, he had his back. He had the hooks in. He had an exhausted, beaten, and old Daniel Rodriguez. But he had taken too much damage by that point, fucking around, and fell off. And that's where, should Holland have won that fight? Yes. Should I have anchored him? No. 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 Oh, that is such a bad decision. Cheers to Kevin Holland, right? Cheers to Kevin Holland. It should have, the thing is, even with it being a stupid decision, it still should have won. Patchy Mix, my other anchor that broke. The straw that broke the camel's back. The one that really let me know my thought process maybe off a little bit. Maybe it just wasn't my year, right? That last fight that he lost, the split decision, he won. He won. Another one that, like I said, I can claim bad luck all I want. It was a bad bet. That anchor should have gone my way. I should have profited. I should have had a really nice night because I actually hit a lot of the other plays that I was on that he was tied to in parlays that night, including Ramiz Brahimaj, which was a massive underdog and an amazing call that I didn't get paid for because I anchored him. But again, my fault. And that's where I'll always be totally honest with you guys. Was it unlucky? Yes. It can also be true that I made a bad decision. Yes. So, I'm not going to hide behind the bad luck curtain too much because obviously I made a bad choice. So both things are true. You can make a bad choice. You can make a bad bet. You can still win. I should have won, but if I had made a better decision, the result would have been better too. Those are the ones that hurt, especially when you swing big. Yeah, Kyle, appreciate you, buddy. Stop the anchors and max bets. Well, so the max bets, my record is still positive on the max bets, by the way. Just so you know, Every once in a while, a max bet will still be a thing. Every once in a while, the max bet will still happen. Um, the anchors, like I said, they're retired for now. We'll see what happens. They're retired for now. But the decision making when it comes to the anchors is so important because you can't lose. You can't lose them. Duck saying you'll be curating a do not bet list in 2026. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad option, frankly. Getting a do not bet list isn't a bad idea. The problem, as always, you guys, is I see value in the mangy, greasy underdogs. If we had, what was it? 2024 was the year of the chalk. The the chalk heads just parlayed everything. They literally just parlayed everything over and over and over. It cashed, it cashed, it cashed. The guy who knows nothing about MMA would just swear to you up and down that he was the best gambler you've ever met in 2024. You guys know this. And so what we started seeing was massively inflated underdog price tags. Well, things evened out a little bit in 2025. There were a lot more underdogs that started coming through in 2025. And so I could have theoretically had a better year last year if I had stuck to my underdog betting guns. But when you do things like anchors and you tie underdogs like Ramiz Brahimai to anchors, you miss out on that good, delicious plus money that would have saved your night, right? So, some poor choices. Some poor choices. The worst one, though, you guys, I got to find this for you. Um, the worst one was I actually almost hit one of my long shot ass parlays. I was so close. What was it? Let me find it. I'm scrolling. This is not working well. I've had a few too many shots. Okay, maybe I just leave this. I almost hit one of my long shot parlays. I actually didn't hit. Oh, there it is. There it is. The turkey hair transplant parlay. I almost got one, and I'm never gonna forget this one. You ready for this? I had Plastry inside the distance, Melky Costa sub, awfully by sub. Can you believe that? Charles Oliveira inside the distance, and Vitor Thicken Petrino by sub. He got the KO that night. Would you look at that? The payout was massive. I was so close. And it was one of those fights where he just never looked at the grappling. He just never looked at the grappling. I was this close. I was this close. Oh, that was tough. That was tough. Jeff says my year blew until I hit a 50. Holy crap. On the Royval Cop card. What an unreal score. Are you kidding me? 530 to 1? That's insane. Duck is very smart. Never leave home without my low IQ fighter list. And it's funny, actually, Duck, you know what's funny? Check this out. I think I still have it written down. 1 second. Let me look. Nope. Okay. Never mind. I deleted it. The rules for the Die Hard MMA podcast, right? You never bet on a bad chin. You never bet on bad fight IQ, and you never bet on bad cardio. Those were the three rules. I always said you never bet on those three things. And then, of course, we know the 40-year-old rule, right? You don't bet on somebody who's 40 or older unless you've got a damn good reason to do so. And I've kind of gotten away from that. I think I got a little too big for my britches, Duck. I think I got to the point where I was like, I think, this guy, exception, that guy, exception. Like the reason we made the rules is so we didn't fuck up. And then we got so smart that we thought we could bend the rules. And when I say we, to be clear, I mean me. So, yeah, no. There's a reason the rules were invented in the first place, and I got away from it. So that sucks. That sucks. So yeah, you guys, that is the bad news. Not only did my grandmother die this week, but I have to fess up to the fact that I blew 96 units for 2025. And the best part is going to be posting this on Twitter because after this podcast, I will post up the record for 2025 so everybody can see it and mock me. And, most of them are not going to be kind enough or engaged enough to hang out and watch the show the way that you guys have. So I'm going to get ripped a new one on Twitter. That'll be fun to watch. The fallout and the explosion will be very entertaining for everybody involved. But the thing that you all need to know, the thing that you all need to understand is I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I love this sport. I love the gamble. I've been a gambler my entire life. The fireball's kicking in apparently. Been a gambler my entire life, and this ain't gonna stop me. So I made a promise that if I became a fade god, as people have called me the last couple of years, you guys would never get rid of me because I will turn that into printing money. I will turn that into straight profit. There's a way to make everything work. So if I literally am just so broken that I can't pick a winner in MMA at this point, I will become obnoxious. I will be so bad. We'll make it good, like that asshole Trent. I'll go that route. I'll become an internet sensation over how bad I am. But the problem is, you guys, my soul won't let me. I'm a competitor. Played football in high school, played track in high school, did jujitsu in college. Like I might be an old dad bod out of shape now, but I was playing poker competitively just a couple of years ago. I have always been a competitor. I don't have it in me to give up. I don't have the ability to know when to quit. So I am still going to buckle down and make whatever changes necessary to do my very best to try to profit. And we're going to keep this bad boy rolling. So, yes, I may have killed an entire bankroll in 2025, but we're going to celebrate the death of that bankroll, Erica Kirk style. I'm coming out next week with fireworks. The podcast is going nowhere. I still have the best damn guest list in MMA. We are going to have fun. The Paramount era is right around the corner for all of us. We've got big names, we've got big fights, we've got soft betting lines, and I'm promising you guys I'm going to crush 2026. If the pattern holds, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but when I told you about the betting record since the start, it's been alternating win loss, win loss. And it's just gotten bigger and more inflated every single time. So this is the first year I've had back to back bad years since I started the podcast. And that just means we are due for back to back good years. And we're talking nuclear explosive level good years. So you guys definitely don't want to miss this. My friends, thank you so much for being here with me for the recap this evening. It was fun to share some drinks with you. I appreciate you for acting like my therapist for a little bit while I get some stuff off my chest. You guys are absolutely the greatest. Things may change a little bit, but we're going to keep rolling, right? Um, Everything's in the air right now. Not sure what we're doing as far as sponsors. Maybe we start a Patreon of some kind where you guys can directly support me so we don't have to worry about those kinds of shenanigans or anything like that moving forward. Again, I'm never selling picks. Obviously, I'm coming off of an awful losing year. But if you guys are fading me, you're printing money at this point. So if you want to fade me betting, but watch the show, that's fine. Not a problem. Just don't be an asshole about it when you do it, right? You can support me just the same. And I can continue to do this, have fun, engage with you guys, support my family. That's the goal. That's the plan. The world is upside down right now, you guys. People have no empathy. The problems are bigger than I ever imagined. And I'm this close to starting a political podcast so I can talk about it because I swore I wouldn't get into politics on this one. But I'm here. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to bring you entertaining content, win, lose, or draw. You'll see me on Mondays. We'll talk fights, and it all starts next week. I love you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for sticking by me all these years. If you're new, welcome to the team. I promise it's not all doom and gloom all the time. Usually my grandma doesn't die, and usually I'm a little bit better at this. But we are rolling straight into 2026. Skeleton on fire style. I may be dead, but my soul marches forward. We're gonna kick some ass this year. We are refilling our pockets. We are taking names. We are taking the bag home with us by the end of 2026. If it's dying, kicking, screaming, dead or alive, I don't care. It's mine this year, you guys. We're doing this damn thing. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week. We will see you next week right here on the Die Hard MMA podcast. Lock the fuck in. Let's roll.